In this video, I will show you how to use forms in Access to manage a database. In this case, we'll be focusing on our purchase database, where we have 4 tables: invoice, purchase, book, and publisher tables. And as you'll remember, purchase is a bridge entity here, and therefore we're going to focus on that one later. First, we'd like to focus on other 3 tables. And let's start from the publisher side, because there's a one-to-many relationship between publisher and book, and you may want to have the publishers first, because whenever we like to enter a new book, we need to define a publisher first. So let's start focus on the publisher first. Then we'll work on book, and we'll switch to invoice, and finally we'll focus on the purchase table. Okay. Let's close the relationships. Let's see, yes, and let's go to publisher table. Here's the table, and we have publisher ID and publisher name as our entities, as our attributes. So while your publisher is selected, you can go to Create tab and click this form option, which is an auto form. Basically, it will create a form based on this publisher table. So click on it, and yes, we have a publisher table. Publisher form is created, where it automatically also creates a sub form where you can see the books associated with this publisher, which is fine. So we have publisher ID and publisher name here. Okay, this is our first form. Here you can add new publishers if you want to. Basically, you can in the bottom here you can click this new blank record option here with arrow with asterisk sign next to it, where you can add new publisher ID. In this case, publisher ID set the auto number, so that's why you're seeing this new option here. So you don't have to specify it, but you can specify a publisher name. So for that, you need to go to actually view, and let's enter Wiley. And for Wiley, there are no books associated yet. So when you hit tab, and basically it's entered. Now we can browse all of your records. So basically, that's what we have. Okay. And you can always go to design view here to adjust the look and feel of your form. So we can make it a little bit, reduce the width so it would fit in the screen. So you can make these kind of adjustments. Okay. And the subform that you see is actually, it's not a kind of subform. It's a just form. It kind of like subform, but it's not a subform that you would create. It can stay, or it doesn't have to stay. It's up to you in the end, but it can be like this. So you can see all the books associated with this publisher. And you can, for example, you might have, let's say in this case we have 6 publisher, but it may be kind of a little bit cumbersome to come down here and to click this new record option. What you might do instead, you can go to layout view, and let's move this footer a little bit down and lower this subform down here, because subform is part of this here. What you can do is you can add a button. So if you look at here under design tab, you can see a button option. Okay, let's place this button here first, and then you're given some options here. Record navigation, so you have these options, but we like to do some add new records. So we like to use this form to add new records. Click next, and let's use text option. Let's say add new publisher. Finish. And you can go to view how this form looks like. So rather than coming down here, trying to locate this little option, you can always click here. Then you can add a new publisher if you want to. And let's say, select a new publisher name, FSG. So basically, now we have added new record here. these publishers. Then once you're done, make sure you save your form. That's it. This is publisher entry form. Okay. Now we create our publisher entry form. Let's close this form. The next one is you might recall, now we are going to switch to book table. So let's go to book table. While book table is selected, you can again click create and form. Now we have this auto form created where we have our book attributes, book ISBN, book title, price, publisher ID, quantity in hand information, and all the invoices associated with this book. Let's go to design view to change the look and feel of this form. So everything would fit in the screen. Other thing is, in this case, I don't want to have this subform. Let's get rid of this one because we like to enter book information here. And let's look at the form. It is nice, and you can, switch through the records here. If need be, you can edit, for example, from start to, let's say, end. That's how you can edit records through this form. One thing interesting here is, when you're adding new books, to specify the publisher information for this book, it's going to be a little difficult to remember all these publisher IDs. In this case, we have like 6-7 publisher ID, but assuming you would have like hundreds of publisher names, it will be difficult. Wouldn't it be nice to have some sort of drop-down list here where we could select the publisher name? So that's what we are going to do. Let's go to design view. And what we are going to do is let's get rid of this form, this text box here for publisher ID. Now we deleted that one. And again, go to your design tab and look for an option called combo box. Click on combo box, place it anywhere here. It doesn't matter in the beginning. And now you will be given an option you need to decide how you're going to use this combo box. You want to get values from another table or query. In this case, that's what we want. We want to use this combo box to get values from another table or query. So in this case, we are going to get the values from another table. And that table is a publisher table. And let's get both of them because sometimes publisher names might be the same. So you may want to see the publisher ID next. And you like to sort them by actual publisher name. It will be easier to go through the list. And you can hide the key column, just you can see the publisher name, or you may choose to display both of them. But let's choose publisher name. Let's hide the key column for this example. Next. And in this case, once an option is selected from that list, you want that information recorded in the publisher ID field in book table, so that the form would know where to store that information. Next. And let's give it a name, this one. Let's go. This is form box name. Let's say pub name. Finish. And then you can actually place it here. Then it will automatically extend. And you can actually choose to say this is pub name. You can say publisher name. And you can. These are labels, so it doesn't really matter. You can have white spaces here. And say quantity in hand. Okay. And lastly, what we can do is we can add some. Actually, first check our form. So as you're going through like this, you see, for example, you may notice you have made a mistake. This book actually is not from this publisher. You can select Neil Schumann and continue. As you go back, you can see now it's Neil Schumann. So it's much easier to add book records this way than sifting through the publisher ID. We can use again. Sometimes you may need to add new publishers. For example, you may not say, "Oh, you don't have the publisher information here." So rather than going here and opening that form, you can add a button here too. And same thing for adding new book records. So we can go to design view, and we can add new button here. Let's say call first one is record operation, record navigation. We like to a form operation. We like to open a new different form. So it's going to open a form, and it's going to open publisher entry form since we have only one form at this point. It picks up automatically, and open the form and show all the records. So that's what you like to do. And let's use a text one. Picture is not that good at this point. Open publisher entry form. Next. And you don't have to name this one, so it's fine. So we have publisher entry form. And let's add another button to add new book record. This time it's kind of a record operation. Add new record. Record. So then you can place them, align them properly so that they will look nice. Now we have our form ready. Let's view it. Let's save it. Book entry form. Okay. So if I click open publisher entry form, then I will get the publisher form. Then if I say add new publisher, then I get a new publisher here. And add a new book record, then I will add new book record information, and I can select the publisher for that book. Let's come up with a new one. I'm just making these numbers up. Red. Let's say this is $25. Publisher name, let's pick Wiley. Continent 5. And you can click add new book record again. Then that record has been added, so you can go back and see that record here. Then you may notice you made a mistake with the publisher name. You can always change something else, and it's changed. And you can look at the book table to see that information here. You see publisher ID 7, not the name here actually in the book table. But if you look at the publisher table, you can see 7 is Facet Publishing, and that's correct. So that's how we can test that information.